What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 38 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Thorgrim Grudgebearer Old World campaign. So as we saw last time, we reached a pretty major milestone in reaching 1 million gold per turn, and though we had a bunch of battles, including taking down Drajueth the Ashen with Jamek Doomtamer's new run-and-gun war sled army, we were kind of overshadowed in terms of the battles with that particular gold milestone. So, looking pretty good, or pretty gold, I should say. Anyway, in terms of what we got to do this time, it's a brand new turn, effectively, so we got a lot to do, so let's start doing. Thorgrim, now, I assume that you can't reach anywhere new. I would like you to, in theory, wipe out the... you know what? Yeah, I think we're going to move to wipe out the rats here, because while I do want... Oh, wow, they got 2 stacks there. Interesting. I wonder if they'll be willing to attack Belegar. Good luck to them if they are. What I was going to say was, while Thorgrim does want to move southward, he'll maybe grab Komar first, Komar, whatever, and then Finn. Oh, he can actually reach Stone Mine Tower. Good. I just don't want these guys attacking our undefended territories. Like so, and then, of course, this is completely out of order, but whatever. You know what, we'll ask Mr. Gelt to join this. Not for money, and just for free. And just so that we can get a little bit of extra relationship with him. Granted, our relationship with him is pretty okay at 852, but it's nothing like the 2,000 or 3,000 or whatever that we have with the other Imperials, because he's not as happy with us killing his friend. Anyway, so you got... that's what you get for making friends with Elgi. I mean, come on. Stone Mine Tower is going to be the place for Finn Arcand Raskelson, who can quick save and how to resolve it real quick. I don't imagine this particular clan tree trick faction is going to be very strong here. At least I sincerely doubt it. And hey, no crash this time. Shocking. Alrighty, and don't collect the income. Actually, yes, do collect the income, but don't use these 2 buildings. And just in case Blacklaw layer is tier 4, we'll hold off on doing anything with our growth. Might be nice to upgrade it immediately. Grimly Coral Seeker. I guess it's time to go seek some slaanesh, not just corals. Let's see what we got in terms of upgrades. Okay, we got 1 level on you. You guys are 1 level as well, so probably nothing critical. I think we're okay. Let's just rack up the XP by fighting some more slaanesh. You're going to target this army because it's the biggest army I can see. And let's see which of the blob attacks us here. Oh, you can't reach it? Actually, you can. And they will indeed fight. And because they are actually staying outside of their territory, as in outside of the slaanesh territory, they don't have enough budget to force a seduction of any of our units. Silly though it may be that dwarven units get seduced in the first place. Anyway, another good fight, I think. Pyrrhic victory, medium casualties, lots and lots and lots of slaanesh. Slaanesh for everyone. Go. Oh no, this map, I remember this map. It is very, very dark outside of this tiny little light space, and very difficult to see things. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Let's just hope that our dwarfs can find their targets in the dark. Anyway, let's start the battle off by moving forward and annoying the enemy a little bit, specifically either the enemy lord or any of the enemy seeker chariots, and with our engineers. And it does look like the enemy will wait for its reinforcements to arrive. I mean, it's still got like a stack and a half to come in, and makes no sense to charge us until that stack and a half are here. So, enemy lord. Fortunately, it's a level 1 Herald of Slaanesh. I guess it's one of the cultist armies that have spawned with the billion other cultist armies from the bug. So the loss of this lord won't be a major loss to the enemy, but at the same time it'll be a fragile lord that's easy to kill. And oh, any stray shots might knock out a few additional units. Huh, Is that, what's that lighting from? Is this the brimstone guns, or is it the gyrocopters themselves that are lighting up the dark like this? Huh. We gotta double check next time we attack something with the gyrocopters, because it's a light specifically here, and I wouldn't know exactly where it was coming from. But anyway, not that it matters. The enemy lord is down to 70, and then 0 HP. Down we go. Alrighty, and it looks like that has, well, I was about to say annoyed the enemy, but I think it was just coincidence as the reinforcements have arrived on the field and are getting ready to move towards us. It looks like one of the enemy seeker chariots has been damaged by our bolt throwers, admittedly, surprisingly, considering they're having a difficult time getting those bolts through the tree line. But I suppose it's not like there's a dearth of seeker chariots. Man, I can't even, when in the dark like this, can't even tell the army apart from the ground that they're standing on. Anyway, the seeker chariots are done. It looks like more seeker chariots are moving around our right flank, and I guess more seeker chariots are moving around blank is going to be a commonality throughout this particular battle. Anyway, enemies will keep approaching. We'll keep doing damage to them at a distance. Looks like seekers are the targets, at least for our central-facing bolt throwers. And we're just going to try to prevent too many of those darn chariots from closing the distance with our range units. Yep, they're going to just ignore the Thane completely, though he hit them a couple of times, and then trundle on by and get ready to turn and smash into the back of our quarrelers. Oh, this is going to be annoying. It's also difficult to see them, so what can you do? Well, good luck to the quarrelers. The bleed and the serrated blade storm from the seeker chariots is probably going to do a bit of a number on you. Then, let's lose about 10% of their HP. Not too horrible. At least it was a damaged unit of seeker chariots, but the enemies got way, way more where that came from. Alright, some are... Okay, you guys are not going to have nearly as good of a time. Just smashing into the line of Longbeards is not going to go well for you compared to smashing into the line of the Quarrelers. And yeah, sorry about the dark map, but there isn't really anything I can do about it, so just try to figure out what the heck is going on. Ooh, a nice charge into the Quarrelers, who have now dropped by about 40% of their HP as the numbers of Seeker Chariots on the right flank have increased, and we got even more of those and Seekers on the way. But that's alright. The enemy Marauders and Demonettes, however, are simply smashing into the lines of the Longbeards, and the Longbeards are absolutely tearing them to shreds. These are magical damage dealing. They have pretty darn high melee defense. They don't yet have that tech that will buff them up by giving them charge reflection, but they're still pretty darn solid. And we deploy them so they're just behind this little ford, so that the enemy has to slow down at least a little bit. And, I don't know what that was. Oh, no, that was our... See, I couldn't even tell the enemy units apart from our units in the dark here. That was a Zufbar 42-pounders and a big old blob of enemies. And yeah, most of the enemy army is blobbed up around our Longbeards now. Oh, we got a slightly lit up location here. I guess it may be a reason to use miners in some armies just so that they sort of light up the dark here. At least with certain factions like the Vampire Counts, you put a couple corpse carts on, they get the balefire lighting up a sort of area around them. Other than miners, I don't think dwarfs have anything like that, because the miners have those little candle helmets and lanterns. Alrighty, and it looks like these Seeker Chariots have by and large been destroyed. They did do a little bit of damage to our Quarrelers, and more importantly, they got the artillery crew off of their artillery pieces. And the difficult aspect of that is actually trying to find the artillery pieces in the dark to actually click on them, or at least it was for me when playing the battle. Otherwise, the Longbeards are holding perfectly well. They've lost about 10%, 20, 15% of their HP. But otherwise, the enemy has simply not been able to break through their lines at all. And as soon as they back off, they'll start suffering hits from... Ooh, I just saw an enemy lord get obliterated by the artillery crews. Yeah, as soon as they back off, they'll again start taking hits from the range units. But it looks like the range units didn't have a chance to do all that much. Some of them were distracted by the Seeker Chariots, and then the others were overshadowed by the Longbeards this time. Anyway, the enemy will run, and we'll gun them down as best we can. All right, not too bad, I suppose. Honestly, it was a pretty frustrating battle. Not a difficult one by any means, just frustrating because you can't see anything on that super dark map, and by virtue of it, for example, I just couldn't find the artillery pieces to pick them back up, as in once the crew got distracted a little bit, I was just trying to zoom in and actually click those artillery. On the bright side, however, the Longbeards, hey, if these are Wrongbeards, I don't want to be Rightbeard, but anyway, it gave a chance for the Longbeards. Man, what is up with me today? It gave the chance for the Longbeards to shine. They got massively more damage and kills than the Quarrelers or the Bolt Throwers did, which is unusual for this particular army. So at least that aspect of it is pretty great. As for who won, by the looks of it, at 34,000 damage, Asgaraz and 172 kills took both the damage and the kills, and probably by virtue of that, damage Delta's gold value as well. So well done to them. These guys barely did anything in this particular battle, though, so you don't get to celebrate. Attract replacements. Learn to fight in the dark. Ruinous. Anyway, let's see what we got here. Oh, huh. I wonder if they're moving down here. Oh, is it just Hell Pit that's perpetually dark, so we'll always be fighting in dark maps here? I hope that's not the case. Guess we'll find out. Anyway, these guys are all backing away, but let me just see here. It's looking like we might have cleared most of the Talisman of Preservation. Lovely. Sword of Might. What the heck? How did we get a Sword of Might? Hey, we got Profit, though. Oh, it's a reward for this. Let me just see here. Do we even have any gray items left? We do. We have a few of the runes left, and we have a Sword of Might and a Sword of Swift Slaying Fuse. Hey, another brass cleaver. Nice. I'll put that somewhere. Anyway, just go chase these guys down. Wait, I know that you've moved, so we can definitely kill you. What? Okay, that was the wrong one. Okay, there's so many that I don't know who's moved and who hasn't anymore. Have you moved? You have not moved. Oh, for the love of... That's gotta be your... Did you actually move too far away so that now they don't... Yeah, okay. You are also gonna move? Alright, fine. Wasting Grimley's time, are you? You shouldn't do that. Alright, quick save, and we'll auto-resolve. This is probably going to unnecessarily hurt our army, but what are you gonna do? And quick save, and auto-resolve, and let's see what we get here. The Thane. Okay. Well... we're gonna have to do that again, so Thane, prepare to get even more damage. Auto resolve. Please don't be 1 HP. And okay, he's now down to half HP. We'll still heal to full. I really doubt that these guys are gonna attack us now, but you know, we never know. You can... Do we have any corruption left here? No. I was about to say go into Valea's will. I mean, I guess we could try an ambush. What's the likelihood that these guys attempt to go for first circle? It is reasonably well defended. I think they can't reach it anyway. Let's go into ambush and just sit here. We'll see what, if anything, they do. I really doubt it'll succeed either way. And ooh, Throughout the Unclean's back up and running. Though we took we took the 9th circle from him. He still has a 7th circle though, so he could still build some decent stuff, not just Skaven slaves, though he might be having some monetary issues now. And that's his problem. Anyway, another Ranger's Quiver, Unending Volley, Runesmith's Apprentice. Good. Alrighty, let's see who's next. Gromby. I'd really like for you to be the one that gets Thrott's defeat trade. Neither Grimly nor Malachi will benefit from it nearly as much as you, because you have a ludicrous amount of HP by comparison. It does, however, mean abandoning the shore here, unless we take 2nd circle with Grimly and then quickly jump over here before too many of these territories fall. This is really why we need a few more guard armies. Mountains of Morn have their Morn guards, but we don't have much over on this side of the map. Working on it, though, working on it. And yes, I absolutely could have built some. I just wanted to, you know, keep the admin as lean as it's possible to keep it at this point in the campaign, you know? We already have a pretty insane amount, and with every additional army, it gets more and more confusing, so I don't like to add any superfluous armies. Now, let's anyway, Thorek. Now... you're kind of in a place where you may want to go to... Huh? Are you actually taking the offensive here? Oh, wow, that's kind of impressive. I don't dislike that. I do, however, want you... Well... If we move down here, we won't really have anybody to protect the north here. Also, you can probably take Nagripper Camp. I assume Tamarkan is not in range. I don't see him anymore. Alright. Unresolve. I did not quick save. You better not crash. Occupy. Frankly, again, I don't really care about these territories, and we'll see whether there's any purpose to keeping them. Not for ourselves, obviously, but for our ally. If you're wondering what do you mean if there's any purpose for our allies of keeping them... You see what's going on here. Minus 88. Even in these territories, even in the Frozen where he has no climate problems. Wait, minus 4 from climate. Kuj Camp, LK Drove. Oh, you got some chaotic stuff. It's only a minus 2, but still. Okay, fine. He has good climate here. Yeah, no climate penalties and still minus 2. Provinces with low control minus 10. So he's stuck in a little bit of a loop, and we have given him a few 100,000 gold to hopefully fix the situation. Unfortunately, I think the problem is the AI is building these trade exchanges, which give you minus 2 control, and by its nature in every single province, so it's bumping up that negative public order here. I'm curious, however, if... Yeah, these guys are okay. What the heck? What are you doing, Zhao Ming? The agents of the moon are doing perfectly fine. I got a little bit of an issue here, but it's probably due to... Yeah, it's due to raiding from the orcs and not from anything else. Well, good job to the agents of the moon, I guess. Not so good job to Zhao Ming. Good luck. Anyway, back to Thorek. We should hunt down Tamarkan. I mean, I guess we could swap spaces with Alaric, send him down here to grab this, because if we declare war on Tamarkan while we're here, and while I do also want Valkia, this army can't defeat Tamarkan. There's absolutely no freaking way, whereas Thorex can, so I guess Thorek has to be the one to do it. Alright, fine. Thorek, go this way. March stance, looks like we suffer no... attrition here because we've de-nerglified or de-corrupted this place, which is great. And Durgrim Burdrick. What I would like you to do is return to Gulgrog's Monolith and then recruit an army there, maybe with a few more Iron Breakers, and get ready to use it as a Guardian army. Probably, yeah, you're Doki, so I think we'll replace you with a different kind of Lord, maybe another Runesmith Lord. Kind of makes sense to have the Runesmiths go up here and cleanse the world. Maybe, while reclaiming the realms, we've, I don't know, rediscovered lost technologies and created even new ones. Maybe some crazy rune from Alaric the Mad that if you, I don't know, carve it into the ground somewhere, it siphons off chaos or something. Kind of like the Vortex, but, you know, not stupid and algae. Anyway, Guthrie Holdfast, you're up next, sir. You are no longer needed here unless I'm mistaken. You're technically an auto-resolver army. Not a real army, such as it is. It's not that this is a bad army, it's just that we don't really... Okay, yeah. Reclaimer. Gautry. Hold fast, there we go. Alrighty. I just started renaming all the auto-resolve armies to Reclaimer, because, you know, they're reclaiming the realms. But they're not doing it manually. Anyway, you can move to Liske. I'm sure we'll need plenty of these Reclaimers up north to start taking the territories of the... Empire, I guess. Back. A lot of stuff to work on out there. Also, I have transferred a bunch more territories to Visenland and Nuln, so they now have most of, in fact, they have all of Sylvania and Averland and Visenland. I do intend to also give them the Stirland territories. However, I would want to probably wait until we built them up a teensy bit, just in case. Just in case, for example, Mr. Changeling shows up and starts screwing everything up, which is a distinct possibility. And I did check, the Changeling is alive somewhere. Being annoying, I'm sure. Anyway, Malachi, you... Ah, yes. Okay, so there's two things we want to do with you. You want to go to... Fourth circle. I assume you can auto-resolve this. Pyrrhic victory. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This? Really? The game really doesn't, the game really doesn't trust Malachi's army. Alright, I guess we can fight it. Not a big deal. I do enjoy fighting with his army, so I'm not really complaining. So anyway, you just sit there. I just want to see about other moves before we go. Now, Dwinbar Ranulfson. Unfortunately, we don't have enough armies down here, and we're going to have to send you up north to go to Blight River Falls and possibly to go after Warars and this just general annoyance. I thought these guys were wiped out, but apparently not. Fortunately, the only thing they built is Ungors, and I feel like even our basic garrisons can defeat them, but we'll see. Anyway, I guess you're pushing up here to Blight River. Hopefully before Nurgle comes back, because these guys have a lot of armies running around. We've wiped out, what, 2 or 3 so far, and I saw at least a couple more in the territories of Kotep and the Defenders of the Great Plan. Reclaimer Helldower, I believe you're supposed to reclaim Krugenheim. And colonize. Like so, and colonize. Okay, this is fine. Ungrim Ironfist, you, I guess, are going to Kappelberg. You can reach it, although I was going to send follower Skaldauer there, or Skolson there. Which would allow you to potentially proceed to Horno. That sounds like fun. And ow, you gotta be kidding me, there's a tiny little Skaven garrison here. Alright, fair enough. I guess you're not going to Horno. Sorry.
Very well.
I raised his hopes and then crushed them. Anyway, let's, wait. If we have somebody else grab Horno, we can push you up north this way and then maybe loop around, because you want to go fight well, I guess you could fight Festus type Chaos. I'll think about it. I was going to send him to fight Chaos Dwarfs, but I don't think he'd mind fighting like Archaon or anything like that. Well, I mean, I'm sure it's Ungrim. He's not going to mind whatever he fights. Auto-resolve, and I didn't quick save, and you can get a Trickster's Helm, but you won't have it for long, Mr. Follower here. Alright, Sword of Bloodshed, always a nice find. And you can lose that, and yeah. Alrighty. Kappelberg, immediately upgrade. Alrighty, who's up next? We've got yeah, one second. We'll be back with you, Malachi. Mourngard Whitebeard. Alrighty, so you don't technically need to move, but can you go here and reinforce? No, looks like you're just out of range. Alrighty, I guess you're going to start moving this way in general, so march stance, go to Gron Vorgak. And then Ulfar Dammon will have you auto-resolve Uruk Vok. Like so, and I freaking forgot to quick save again. It's gonna bite me, I know it is, sooner or later. Alrighty, let's see. You can, you can collect and come here, that's fine. And also upgrade Uruk Vok. We can also go for High King's Tribute. Everyone must tribute to the High King. Frankly, the growth might be better, but at this point I just feel like might as well just have everybody in High King's Tribute for consistency. Brock Ironpick, take Kempogrotta. Which, oh right, this is technically a port on this little canal thing here, or this underway river. Which is fine. And Pyrrhic Victory, but yeah, I can see that because it's a pile of miners, so quick save, aha. But that's okay. And these guys are still going to be the vanguard towards the Skavenblight faction, and another Ranger's Quiver, don't need that, and ow! Wait a moment. Brock Ironpick, I never gave you items? Huh. Why did I never give you items? Was it because I was going to reset you? I think maybe. What do you have? You have points in Thunderer, and, well, you do need the points in Grimnir's Heirs. You have Venerate Grugni, because he's a miner, and you're a miner. No, you know what? You're fine. I'm gonna reset you. Alright, I'll give him items before he heads to, Skavenblight, which is actually fairly close. Alright. You just sit there, bud. And ferry. Oh, right, you're just moving down here. All right, keep on moving down here. Keep ferrying those troops. Who's next? Snorri Grimson. I don't remember who you are. Oh, I do now. After Malachi takes this, we're going to recruit from the Spirit of Grugni. Reclaimer Silverhorn. Reclaim whatever's in Theraville. It's nothing. The rats raised it? Really? Okay, that's kind of surprising. Good for the rats, I guess. Maybe not so good. What was the point of that, then? You could have at least used the territory for something, I'm sure. Anyway, Morgastrenger is fine. Jamek Doomtamer already moved last episode. Joseph Bugman. Alright, so, Bugman. Assuming that Reclaimer Gautry Holdfast will go to Horno, we can have you move to Luckerfurt, but we'll do so next turn because, as you can see, Talabayam has no garrison. I traded Talabayam for Castle Drakenhof between the episodes. Tier 5 back to Wissenland, and then Tier 5 back to us, which will go to Reichland, which will be possessing Talabekland, because, you know, lorefully it makes a lot more sense. Anyway, Herrick Grundadrak is fine, Scaff hold fast. You are not holding fast, you are going to Argalis, which is just out of range. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Alright, fine. I don't know. Go here. You'll be in range next turn, I guess, and hello. Stealth Confederacy? Yeah, go take Pugno. Go for it. I didn't even know you guys were alive. Good for you. They survived here at Telshanar. Though perhaps we don't particularly like them squatting in elven colonies. Those should be left as ruins, as monuments to the folly of elves. Anyway, Bernoth Baruch. I guess you're gonna head to Dragon Falls, which is probably full of rats, but you should be fine. Assuming that there isn't multiple stacks here, you should be fine. And you... Yeah, wait, let's just have you move in here first. Let's see what we got here. Basically nothing. Alright, decisive. Quick save. And you have a room of dismay, I take it? Yeah, that's as it should be. We can put that on... I guess on one of the engineers? One of the goblin heroes would work as well. You know, the engineers are going to be interspersed among the other units. Let's put it on... What's the range on it? It's 50 meters, it's not that much. Yeah, it should be on one of the goblin heroes. Alright, that's fine. Auto-resolve. Did I quick save? I don't know, too late. Now that's interesting. Why would the cannons, the ones that have over 500 range compared to everybody else, which has less range, be badly damaged, and nobody else can... What the heck? Auto-resolve is just psychotic. We have bloody goblin hewers who have a range of like 5. And then these guys have a range of like 500. Why? But I ask again. Seriously. Okay, whatever. Occupy. Unresolve is nuts. At least we heal pretty quick. Doesn't bode well for the presence of the cannons in that particular army, but whatever. At least for now, we'll ignore it. We will build whatever we can. This is all going to be transferred to the Bretonnians, but we'll certainly want the watch rooms up and running. Story Azrael, I'd like you to take Muret and then go back down to Castle Carcassonne. Frankly, if they take Laguier, I don't really care. I just want to make sure that we take Muret so that we can make sure we give it to Sigmarsheim so that they have the complete territory here. Or swap it out between them and something up north. I don't know. I just want to make sure that our allies have contiguous empires as well. Alright. Story, your auto-resolve went much easier, or better, or not stupid. As stupid. And I'm sure not for lack of trying on the auto-resolve's part. Anyway, let's see who's up next. We've got Morek Grimtidson. Yes. Alrighty, so you're gonna catch Asavar, not cool. And then head down to Lost Island Beaststone. This guy's gonna run and waste a fair bit of our time, but it's okay. Also, how's the Coordinate Corruption here? Not so great anymore. Auto-resolve, wait. Quick save. Auto-resolve. Why does sometimes it not crash at all, and then sometimes it crashes 3 times in a single episode? And I think this is the only campaign where we're getting regular crashes, so I'm not entirely sure what it is exactly about the dwarfs. Well, we got a mission successful, though. That's nice. You cannot go in any stance. You can just stay here. I wonder how many levels you got from that. I didn't even check. Considering you now have Profit in combination with all the additional XP that we gain from all of the unstable magma chambers. Wait, were you the... Yeah, that was more Grimtidson. Ulfar Norgrimling. You, I believe, have an auto-resolve ahead of you. Tower Gorgoth. Yeah, easy little... Easy little auto-resolve. The Norgrimlings don't get out of bed for less than 2 stacks. Alrighty, and we will... Maybe we keep the mustering hall. Yeah, keep it for now. Then we could use more Thane capacity. Why not? Let's go for Trading Depot. We'll use that instead of the Engineers Hall here, I think. And then, oh wait, or do we even have room for it? We need still space for the Scrat Mine. Then we need space for the defensive structure, and then, no, yeah, we have room for it, we're fine. Wait. Scrat Mine, defensive structure. shrine, deeps. Oh, no, we wouldn't, because we need the runesmith location, because we need the oath gold. Oh, Lord, do we need oath gold. We need so many items, and they're pretty darn expensive, even with the amount of oath gold that we're generating. With every single good item costing 500 oath gold per item. It's still going to be a long time until everybody has everything that they want. Anyway, Bugman, we've already moved you. This was Ulfar Norgrimling. Replace Fireslay can't move until this is ready for colonization, until these guys are gone, so just stay there. Elmador Red Axe, you were heading up north towards the Eagles areas. Like so, and okay, our Banner of Swiftness on you, Ranger Standard on you, and then Wailing Banner on you. Something like that. Quick save, auto-resolve real quick. I wonder if Grotzlik Manfleya and Slaya would work too. You flay him and you slay him. Alrighty, I goodbye. I wonder if that's the Lord of the faction or not. I assume that Sneaky Get Hold can't be built up to tier 5, but I'm just in case. I think for the orcs they certainly can't, but we'll see. Anyway, you leave that as it is. Anyway, Larmador Red Axe, you're at the tail end of the lords that are available. We still have Braun Hammerfist, who still needs some adjustment with what he's got going on, but for now, you're going to move to V-Fang, you're going to take it. I assume it is still full of rats. Burnoth Knucklebreaker. You can just auto-resolve Splintered Bone Camp. I probably could have just, you know, saved this for between the episodes thing, but I forgot, so too late now. Anyway, delete, and I mean, I guess if we take Socotra, we can still take Grunty Mingle at tier 5, so we're good. Oh, and there's still the Filthy Elgie to consider. Well, we're at 1 out of 3. We'll get there. Don't you worry, Batman. Let's see. It's simple. We killed the Batman. Anyway, Hegenbor Ironpick. You and your Grail Knight. Well, first of all, you do need more Grail Knights. You know what? Maybe you just move to pick up your Grail Knight here, your second Grail Knight from Thugme, and then move north this way. Actually, you would move this way. Yeah, whatever. It's all good. The single turn isn't going to make any kind of difference. Let's be real here. And Higanbor Ironpick, Thick Proudbeard. You are still... Huh, wait, did those... There are orcs here. I assume they all didn't die. They backed off? Oh. Your army spotted an enemy force waiting to ambush. Oh, it's the remnants of the force. You know, I'll just let these die. We already know that we can beat them because we already did, and they're down to like, I don't know, 20% of their HP. Not worthy of our time. And Sky Titan String, you can also, I guess, heal up because you'll want to auto-resolve the remnants here at Gulrunkaz, assuming that you can. Oh, not this turn, though. Alright, fair enough. Go here. And don't bother keeping that Sky Titan String. You don't need it, frankly. I'm not sure that anybody in our faction needs it. I'll think about it. Also, what trait do you have, Thick Proudbeard? Yeah, Bolgi. It's okay. The unit mass... Not so sure. But anyway, okay, you can't globally recruit. And yeah, I just want to check. These guys should have 2 territories now. Yes? Yes. Alright, they're done. This faction is destroyed. And we'll have to figure out whether we want to wipe out these ogres, too. Just because we don't like them being here. Partly that, and partly because there's a decent likelihood that they try to wipe out, or try to raid our allies, and... I'll think about it. Anyway, that was Thick Proudbeard. Are you the last? Thick Proudbeard, Reclaimer Drakebeard. You need to head down to Myrmidons. Alright, fine. Just march stance all the way down there. You're a little bit damaged, but not so damaged that it's going to be a concern, I think. Although, some decent stuff here. Lots of black orcs and biggins. Let us begin. Oh, but fortunately, we have constant casualty or punishment due to... something. Enables replenishment to foreign territory. Okay, well, that Forsaken Crown just paid for itself with that 1 turn of replenishment in enemy territory. You're fine as you are, and I believe Scout is not needing to move. Siege. Oh, I almost ended the turn and completely forgot about this. Malachi, you're going to fight this. Go for it. I guess we're going over the walls. Gotta do what you gotta do. Malachi-ing time. Alrighty, here we go. The Slayer pirates in this army generally act as something of a gun line, but you gotta remember that they're still Slayers, and who better to send directly up the walls running at the enemy guns than Slayers. So that's what we're gonna do. The enemy artillery comes down upon us, and all the Slayers rush towards the wall while the two airships hover overhead and start dropping bombs, cannon fire, and Grudge Raker fire at the rats on top of the walls, while the gyrocopters go over, drop a few bombs, and then head directly for the enemy artillery pieces. The two airships will be here to provide support while the Slayers start climbing. And while there were a decent number of units on top of the walls, it looks like they did not enjoy the administrations of the two airships or the gyrocopters. I still wish that you could, lock the camera to the gyrocopters. Well, gyrocopters too, but thunder barges, just so that you could just constantly keep their view like this, because it's neat. I love watching the Grudge Rakers fire at the enemy down below, but it's so difficult to follow that thing with the camera, at least from inside it. But what can you do? Anyway, looks like the thunder barges have cleared the way, and our pirates are starting to make their way up on top of the walls. The enemy artillery are in bad shape. I believe two crews have been destroyed, and the third one is about to follow suit, as the engineers and the regular steam expulsion gyrocopters have nearly destroyed them as well. As we don't have the other gyrocopter types in this particular army, but they're plenty enough to destroy the artillery crew of these guys. And the engineers have a brimstone gun, so they can cut down the enemy artillery pieces. Looks like some of the enemies have made their way up on top of the walls, and gutter runners, death runners, okay. Death runners, maybe not so surprisingly. And it looks like the enemy lord has led the death runners to, their deaths, to fight the Slayer pirates up above. Does look like the Lord will be getting at least a few decent hits on the Slayer pirates, and a few Slayer pirates have dropped. But the Lord is down to 100 HP probably by the looks of it now. And a couple more hits will bring him down. He is going to attempt to flee, and will just manage to make it out of there, though how long he's going to be able to run remains to be seen. The last of the Death Runners have been cleared out, and the units of Slayer Pirates will take the position up on top of the wall and begin either firing down on the enemies below, even as Zufbar 42-pounders, bombs, and everything hits those milling rats, and we take the walls and do to them what they had done to us at the start of the battle. And there we go. I do believe the main rat host has broken. That warlord still with 100 HP, still running on out of there, though for how long and remains to be seen. Just a few more plague monks out there, and a few less after those shots from our gyrocopters. Beautiful. I mean, that was a heck of a blitz of a siege. 3 minutes, this as long a siege as a normal quick battle, and we just closed the distance so quickly and obliterated everything on top of and around the walls. This army really does well at this sort of thing, and I really enjoy watching it, even if it is a quick one. Love it. Alright, there we go. That was absolutely brutal. You gotta love watching the thunder barges and the gyrocopters come over the walls, heralding the arrival of the Slayers as they climb those walls, heedless of the enemy guns and whatnot, and cut the enemy down, and with the support of their flyers. It's a really fun army, and pretty darn solid in sieges, especially. Lovely. Anyway, rewards, whatever, occupy. Don't crash, please. Alrighty, there we go. And okay, thanks, game. I don't know why you did that, but thank you. That was weird. Malachi. Yeah, I know who you are. You are going to, what do we have here? Gunsmith's Forge, no. Stone Bread Bakery, no. And, oh, it can be upgraded. Interesting. Don't collect the income yet, but we will eventually. I guess we'll want to build defenses here. We should probably just straight up fortify the entire hell pit. I'm not even sure whether we can or should collect any of the money here because of the territories being garbage. Anyway, what we can now do is make use of the Spirit of Grugni to at least get some cheap units. What can we get that's decent? But, ooh, we can get high-level Goblin Hewers. Go for it. Like so, and then do that. Alrighty, it won't be a full army immediately, but we'll be well on our way. Wonder if we can make these miners immediately take the Slayer Oath, and bam, we're good. One Quarreler unit. I'm sure somebody will join them. Anyway, now that's Malachi, and oh, I believe that's an intern then. Lovely. Skip here, not move. Building upgrade available. I think we did. Outpost available. Oh, that's the Rota of the Dawn, in which we will continue ignoring and just hoping that they survive. Oh, right. Should we maybe just give them Zamoski immediately? You know what? I'm gonna give you Zamoski immediately. Like, right now. And yeah, just go straight for a military alliance. I'm gonna hope that you survive. And you know what? We can hopefully make better certain that you survive by giving you... give you 100k. Alright, that's... 20k. 35k. 55k. Let's just do 3 more. A little bit over 100k then. Whatever. It's not like we don't have 3 million gold to spare. It's hilarious how we could just give away hundreds of thousands of gold and it's not even a drop in the bucket. Anyway, we'll end the turn now, see if anybody attacks us. I think we're besieging in at least one place, so possibly. Go. Ha, they do go for lucky, yeah, alright, whatever. We got an underway interception. Not much of an army, I'll admit. Although they do have a they do have a Doom rocket, and that's a solid choice against an artillery army again. Huh. What's the cooldown on this thing? We got 2 minutes until they launch it, eh? What's the over/under on us killing the entire enemy army in 2 minutes? Guess we're about to find out. Why not? The big problem with this army right now is it still doesn't have its engineers, which it really does want. Oh well. Well, damn it. This isn't good. This is not good at all. We are screwed by virtue of this particular battle map. This is the worst one for an all-artillery army. It's a rather long underway map, so we're very distant from the enemy. We're not even going to be able to close range before the nuke drops upon us. And on top of it, this particular map has... I mean, first of all, we can't even see the enemy. They're all hidden here because they're behind the hills. So there are hills, there are trees, there are impassable objects all over the place. It's a really, really bad one for this particular army type. That does look cool. But anyway, yeah, so the best that we can do here is try to bait the enemy nuke into hitting units that we wanted to hit, rather than our more fragile artillery crew. That will mean the Goblin Heroes. So what we're going to do is, once we take position, we'll keep 2 of the Goblin Hero units right here together. And generally speaking, in my experience, the AI will try to target the biggest concentration of your troops and with its nuke. And if that works, at least it won't kill off a bunch of the much more fragile regular artillery. And it does look like the AI will fall for it. We'll immediately start moving the Slayer pirates out of there with the Goblin Heroes, but I mean, they'll be a little bit too slow to dodge it. Fortunately, while a big number of them will get splattered by that, the 2 crews do survive, and we're just going to start backing them off. Alrighty, well, that worked out at least. The artillery crews aren't dead. The main artillery crew can still fire, even though that's effectively the melee line of this particular army, so we'll see what they can do. I also do want steam tanks in this army. It's just that they cost like 100 allegiance, and we just don't have that right now, so yeah. A couple of steam tanks will really help out the melee line with the Goblin Heroes. Ideally, Hellblaster steam tanks, though, admittedly, we'd probably have to lose the Lantern. I'll think about it. At the end of the day, I do like the rocket batteries in here because, sadly, Dwarf Artillery don't have anything like the rocket batteries in terms of pure disgusting effectiveness. And these are rocket batteries buffed by our engineers as well. 618 range, 1.6k weapon strength. Pretty darn solid. That 20 move speed, though, compared to the 50 move speed of the Goblin Heroes. Okay, you should actually be firing. Well, whatever, at least one of them is firing, and it is firing upon the enemy artillery, I believe. Trying to knock out those Warp Lightning cannons. I do like all the different lighting in this particular map. We got green, we got red, we got blue, we got the sort of yellowish lighting from something, I'm not entirely sure. Alright, well, it's going to be a little bit of bombardment as those artillery that actually can arc their shots, the non-direct fire, due to the enemy hiding behind hills and behind trees, will be the only ones at the current time able to actually fire at the enemy. That's alright though, because at the very least the enemy artillery, specifically the Warp Lightning cannons, are stuck in the exact same situation as we are. They can't direct fire back at us, except possibly the Sky Lantern floating overhead, because the hill and the trees and whatever that big old structure is in the center of the map are blocking them. And they won't also be able to fire because the artillery crew are destroyed. The rocket batteries did their work and will now switch fire to anything otherwise resembling an artillery crew. Weapons teams like the Poison Mortars here and the Death Dealers Rattling Guns as well. The enemy perhaps should have tried those menaces below on top of our units, though that's why we have engineers in the army, as well as those Goblin Hewers, because they can still, in a pinch, fight in melee. Well, the Goblin Hewers definitely can, because they're just slayers, but the engineers can at least hold the enemy back, fragile though they are. Rockets continue to drop down among the enemy. And again, this is why I think we need to keep the rocket batteries in here, because no Dwarfen artillery is able to do anything like this. Only, I guess the Grudge Settler Grudge Thrower is, but we have so few of them across all of our armies that, well, we need them. Though I do want another one in this particular army as well. And I don't imagine the Grudge Thrower, even that, is going to be doing as much damage or getting as many kills. So we got 270 and 20,000 kills, and 120 and 14,000. Or 20,000 damage, my bad. And where is the Grudge Settler Grudge Thrower? 183 and 31,000 damage. Pretty solid. But again, we have a limited number of those. Alrighty, well, either way, they'll keep firing. We'll see what their numbers are like by the end of the battle. The enemy is starting to move towards us, especially knowing that it can no longer fire back. There's another bit of a dark map here, and ooh, that Doom Wheel. I mean, probably shouldn't be using the rocket batteries to hit it, but the flame cannons are just fine, and I do love the fireworks of the regular flame cannons. They look a little bit different compared to the Grudge Settler cannons, and they do look pretty good. Lots of explosions all over the place, and at least at close distance makes them more similar to the rocket batteries. There we go, the Doom is like, nope, never mind. I made a terrible mistake, and tries to back off from all of that, and will get out of the range of the artillery, apparently. Alright, well, the enemy will keep approaching. Just gonna speed this up a teensy bit, and now, well, if it isn't the enemy Warp Block Giselles, they could fire back upon us, in theory. They do have some trees blocking them off, but to get into range with us, they got into range with our flame cannons. And enough of those flame cannon shots will make it through the trees. And look great doing it. There we go. If anything, the regular flame cannons look better with the rocket batteries than the Grudge Settler cannon, flame cannons do. Frankly, I fear that in this army, the cannons and the organ guns might not have too much of a purpose compared to the other units, because flame cannons are good against everything, and they're just short range. And they're probably still going to be a lot more effective in terms of what they do than the cannons and the rocket batteries. Oh, not rocket batteries, the cannons and the organ guns. I mean, yeah, we'll need them to occasionally snipe a big old monster or something like that, but again, if it gets close enough for the flame cannons to fire upon it, they could deal with it. But, I mean, we built this army for variety, and it certainly does have that. All the artillery we can muster. No bolt throwers, admittedly, but I don't know. It felt more like a fairly gun-heavy army, I guess. We do have that. We do have those two Grudge Settler Grudge Throwers, but they have that slowdown thing on them, and frankly, this army very much does need it. Alright, the enemy is still trying to make their way towards us. It is taking them a while. I'm just going to speed this up again as they continue to take fire. Again, those hills and those trees are still helping them out and making sure that a lot of our projectiles don't hit. Looks like the Doom Wheel is making its way out of there as well, but it gets sniped at the last second, either by the organ gun or by the Sky Lantern. Couldn't quite tell what was firing. It was probably the organ gun. Sky Lantern hasn't done anything because the enemy is only now just closing the distance into range. Those Sky Lanterns are pretty darn good in SFO, so they're not to be underestimated either. I really enjoyed the unit and was starting to spam them in the Cathay campaign. Almost makes me want to combine a bunch of Sky Lanterns and a bunch of Slayer Pirates. They're both gunner type units and would potentially work nicely together. So something to consider. Anyway, the enemies, the first of the enemy units is finally drawing close enough for the Goblin Hewers to fire upon it. Of course, it won't be just the Goblin Hewers. We have the explosive shots coming in from the Dwarf Engineers. A little bit of work from the flame cannons on the enemy Doom, those are not wheels, Warp Flayers, Doom Flayers, which are down to about 30% of their HP, even if you can't see what the heck is going on in there. I do believe that Brute Horror has melted away under fire from all those axes. The enemy Mutant Rat Ogre similarly brought down by the Goblin Hewers. And if you enjoy watching artillery absolutely decimate enemy units, this is a heck of an army to watch. Though, again, and as always, the flame cannons steal the show. Beautiful. You gotta love fire units, man. Anyway, there we go. Looks like most of the enemy monsters have been cleared out. I think all the enemy monsters have been cleared out, and only piles of regular rats and plague monks remain. They will actually reach our Goblin Hewers, and the Slayers will fight beneath all those explosions. This is just a great day for the Slayers, isn't it? They're just at the front. Everything is exploding everywhere. Everybody's dying. It's a glorious time to be a Slayer, though not for long. Absolutely beautiful, and occasionally we can still see the Goblin Hewers spinning and firing away at whatever they can reach, while the crew fights the plague monks. And there we go with that. The plague monks melt away. The last of the rats have broken, seeing their assault fail, and the battle is ours. All right, we managed to pull it off. We did take a lot of damage on our Slayer Pirates, our Goblin Hewers at the front of the battle line, but that I think is hardly surprising. And well, that's just the way they'd have it. Ooh, alrighty. Well, on the bright side, we got some much-needed XP out of that, and 5 levels with it. Huh. Only 5? Well, I guess maybe we would have gotten 3 prior to Prophet. I remember before Prophet we were getting 5 on occasion, but it must be with some specific certain particular battles. Anyway, yeah, we got absolutely screwed on the battle map there. The worst possible map for artillery, the worst possible underway map for artillery. Maybe there are some worse maps in general, maybe, but that one is awful and distant from the enemy, so we couldn't fire upon them immediately, and very few good firing angles as well. The only thing that did work out for us was that we were able to bait the enemy into nuking our Goblin Hewers, and I feel like these Slayers in this army are just the happiest Slayers in the world. They got nuked, they got hit by a ton of our own artillery. It was a heck of a show, and decent amount of them didn't survive. So yeah, very nice. Attract replacements. Alrighty, that was, by the looks of it, the only attack from the Skaven. A new regional power, the Ice Court. Yes, thank you, Dwarfs, for making the Ice Court a regional power. And game could at least acknowledge who actually did this. Anyway, Lagier Grave of Quila has been... okay, you die now. Oh, but I guess then this guy will sack Murat. Yeah, well, that's the thing about having a billion little Skaven armies are running around, and oh, they took Castle Carcassonne. I wasn't expecting that. Huh, go figure. Well, good for them, I guess. We'll deal with it later. You can go after Ballistit. And auto-resolve. Quick save and then auto-resolve him. Certainly not worthy of our attention. Way too many Skaven saves. I suppose they could drop the nuke on us, but meh. Alrighty, and yeah, we barely even got damage there. And why did I move you before I moved everybody else? I don't know. Oh! We could give this guy a chance to ambush us. On the other hand, though, we should probably just move into march stance and move directly into Murat, and then chase him down. Oh, lovely. Enemy killed in battle, enemy killed in battle. Obsidian Blade, Stonemason, Red Axe of Karak 8 Peaks, Pestilence Scheme performed. Oh, great. Wall fails, Ambusher discovered. Settlement besieged, Wyvern Cliffs. Is that us? That is not us. That is this guy. Yeah, you have no chance here. Just die. And please don't come back. Let's see if the faction is destroyed. Enemy killed in battles. I'm besieged, ready for duty. Technology researched. Runesmith Apprentice, Powder Maker. Faction is not destroyed. They have another full stack, but it's also full of garbage. Alright, just keep recruiting those miners. And... oh, all recruitment is free now. Isn't that lovely? I'll just keep working on it. Anyway, let's go back to... we really need to wipe that Beastman faction. What the heck is going on here? Where are you guys going? Are they trying to get... we're essentially driving them from their territory and to trying to attack the... oh, and you're just out of range? Oh, no. You were so close to... I'm driving them to attacking the... Balthazar Gelt. The Balthazar Gelt? I guess there is only one of him. But anyway... let's start from the top. You can hit Komar. Oh, that is such a horrific waste of your movement range. Huh. What's the likelihood that you could... I doubt it. I sincerely doubt it. Oh, Blackclaw Lair is their capital, though, so... yeah, we should take it. It's probably walled and... really? Alright. Here's what we do. We besiege it, and then with 3 more armies, I'm willing to bet that they will actually attack us. The AI is being coward right now, but it doesn't mean it will continue to be a coward when it has the opportunity to attack us here. At least I hope. But I do think that they will attempt it. Anyway, let's get you Obstinacy, let's get you full plate armor, and let's get you hard to hit, because, you know, who's not tanky enough? It's Belagar. Probably should have gotten Rune of Grimnir, but it's too late. A and B, sounds like we really need it against rats. You have inherited arms. Probably into Relentless. Being able to reposition is actually kind of important for these guys. And let's go for Scarred Vet. I don't know why I put a point in Devastating Charge, but it probably wasn't me. It was probably the Confederation. You can max out Sharpen Weapons. We have Rune Master. We have Strike the Runes. We need the 2nd level of Oath and Steel. And... is the Overcast? Oh, it's just the... yeah, I still don't particularly like that Rune of Breaking all that much. It's... not as useful as the Area of Effect runes. Anyway, let's get you Master Rune of Spite. Alrighty. What about you? You have no Sapper. We have Bolt Thrower Mastery up and running, and that's the only artillery type that we have in this particular army. So, you're free to get Sapper, and you have Rune of Grimnir. I guess we could get Overseer. I don't really care for it, but whatever. What about you? Other Thane, last Thane. You can also get Relentless and frankly... oh, you know what? It's more important that we get Deadly Blade because you have very low melee attack on you. And now you can start going through Relentless. You gotta be able to reposition these guys. Alright, Belagar's ready for a fightin', if fightin' there should be. Komar. And this one is obviously auto-resolvable. Until we find Batman, I don't think Thorgrim is liable to find a proper fight. Although, he is damaged after that, so who knows? Maybe these guys will attack him instead. Good luck to them. We've managed to bait some enemies into doing that before through this campaign, and it never worked out, and I don't imagine it will ever work out for them. Anyway, you are going to take Brewer's Lair. I wonder where the I was about to say, I wonder where the armies of these orcs are, and we immediately spot them. Quick save and auto-resolve. We, having defeated Malice's pretty big double 0.5 stacks, he might not have another major army around. Occupy. And Brewer's Lair will quickly build up a sparring chamber, whereas Ruined Landing, what we can do is this. Trade Ruined Landing for Tidal Flats and Defensive Alliance, and we want you to join war against Hagrief. And that clan, whatever, Clan Ricket. Anybody else nearby that we want you to declare war on? Just do those for now. Alright, we're not going to take your money, just do this. Like so. Alrighty. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I didn't realize that Clan Ricket had landed. Oh, well, you're gonna lose this, but maybe Death Cheater Thorg can retake it. Anyway, you can have Tidal Flats. There you go. Enjoy it. It's your territory now. Good luck. We'll give you Brewer's Lair after we probably leave it, and at least you'll have a full territory. How many territories does Malice have? He's still got 5? Damn. Maybe I should have sent another army down here. Well, too late now. Well, maybe not too late, but that'll be a bit. Anyway, Grimly, you... Ooh, Thropt is in a good place. You would probably want to hit second circle. I would like Grimbrindle to ignore all this and head to 5th circle and maybe fight Thropt. Go here. Alright, you're gonna go here. Yeah, these guys are approaching, and they'll probably take this place, but it's worth it. I don't think we really care about these territories, and then Grimly will be out there as soon as he is out there. Anyway, we'll go for... Can we draw them out?
You may touch me only in dreams.
I'm thinking. Give me a second here. Because here... Oh, wait, they don't have enough Slaanesh corruption, do they? Meaning they shouldn't, in theory, be able to seduce us anymore because we decorrupted them. Right? Right, alright, beautiful. We still have to fight this, though. Alright, fine. That's perfectly fine. It's always nice to fight the Slaanesh. Especially since we haven't had a lot of opportunity to do so. Gotta enjoy it while we can. You cannot reach these guys, Finn Arcand Raskelson, so you're gonna head down to Gronti Mingol. And I guess we're probably going to keep Gronti Mingol because it's, you know, right beside Ekrund and all that. Oh, actually, I forgot to do the buildings in Ekrund properly. Okay, well, I'll deal with that later. Nobber Mudera, you're about to... Really? Huh, okay. I don't think these guys are going to sally out here. It's just, I could just blast through the walls if we wanted to. Alright, well, we'll leave you there for a second. Let's move everybody else around, then we'll figure it out. How are the Cornates doing? Looks like Goramon is here, so what we'll do is... Oldest, I would like you to go here. And we'll jump to Kinslayer Haven next turn with the 2 stacks that you have to fight. Actually, over 2 stacks, 2.5 stacks. I think you'll have some fun over there. And next, we will want to transfer the Engineers and the Thane to you. The heroes, which is why this guy came here. Like so, and then you can start moving back towards where you can recruit more units. Alright, hopefully these guys don't shadow you, because that would be annoying. Because we want to go over there. Then we'll put Ulthur Death Dealer in you. Phrasing Ruinous. Too many Slaanesh battles today. And then Finn Ulfrowner. That's a great name. And we just need one more runesmith. And yes, I'm putting in too many heroes on purpose because I want a light amount of other units in this particular army, so that the hammers always feel outnumbered and the bombers have a chance to drop bombs on big blobs. Thorek, you are looking for a nice Tamarkand to kill, and I see nothing else here. You're going to ignore Fort Dolgenyair. You can march stance to the edge of the forest like this, I guess, and then... I mean, I guess you could go kill Mercy here, Alaric. I'm just going to assume... I see... Well, it's not Kairos. But we should still kill him off. Go kill Mercy. I'm just terrified that you're just going to randomly get killed by Tamarkand because you obviously can't fight him. We need somebody to actually be able to, you know, bring him down, which this sort of non-army really isn't. You can encamp. And wait, I think, I could be mistaken, but 28 and 2? No, I'm wrong. Alright, I was wondering whether we would heal more in enemy territory than our own territory, but not the case apparently. Alright, a Wailing Banner, you're fine. Thorek has moved to nearly where he wanted to move. Alright. Why'd you stop, man? Who's up next? Vikram Burdrick. You are just ferrying these guys over until we have the appropriate lord to command them, which is not you, because we need a Slayer Lord to command the Dragon Slayers for some good old-fashioned dragon slaying. Also, I guess it's about the same movement. Alright, time to head down at last to the Knights of Kalador. You've been waiting. Alright, Reclaimer, Gottree, Holdfast. Now, were you the one that's gonna go to Horno? I did say there were too many Slaaneshi battles. Alright, I guess you're going to Horno. Nobody else is nearby, and I want to grab it before Vissenland does, because then that's another territory that we need to trade back to Reichland. It'll be a whole thing. Tech Thief. What are your point distributions like? You know...
What needs to be done? Can I help you?
Who's a Slayer Pirate? Wait, oh, you already have a Master Engineer, never mind. Is there another Reclaimer that could use one of these Tech Thieves? We don't technically need them anymore. We could put them in Helldauer's army, I guess. Why are you suffering attrition? This army is suffering attrition due to local Wood Elf buildings or characters. What? You're making us take attrition just by your presence in the territory? What the heck is that? I don't even remember that one. That's pretty interesting. And extremely annoying. Well, it is what it is. Go away from here and then... I mean, I suppose if Ungrim goes here, you two will go... Well, I guess you can go past this, then go here. Yeah, you can go up, Ungrim can start on these guys, maybe knock out Festus and then peel away for other Chaos Forces there. We'll see, we'll figure it out. Something will happen. Anyway, Wurtzen, you, I guess, assuming that Bugman can take Lokrafurt, we can move you to Wurtzen. Oh, like so. Follower Skolson, we can't move you there right now, but what we can do is put you right there where an enemy can't reach you, but where you can follow Ungrim shortly. As good as it's gonna get, I think. Alrighty, let's get back to doing things in order, because apparently I'm pathologically incapable of doing so. Malachi. Now, Snorri Grimson has built some stuff. If Malachi were to move, for example, towards Third Circle... that could work. Would it let us take Third Circle without suffering casualties? Well, you'd be out of range. Oh. Throt might intercept you. Can he? We're not crossing him, but I don't know what the distance for intercept is. I would like Malachi to be able to move, though. I hate the idea of him just standing there. Let's try it. We'll see how the enemy reacts to all this. There we go. Helpit's in trouble now. We got Grimly, Malachi, and Grimbrindle, 3 legends out here. And no, it looks like we're fine, so we'll auto-resolve this. Alright, again, we decorrupted the place, so no Slaaneshi corruption means no seduction. Some damage on the on some of the Slayer pirates, but that's fully expected. Alrighty, and we can immediately not upgrade Third Circle, because we'll upgrade the First Circle instead. Huh? Did we build deeps here? I don't recall building deeps here. Weird. Well, whatever. Let's see. Yeah, vaults, yes. Trading warehouse, yes. Whatever this is, yes. And deeps, I guess. Alright, fair enough. More unstable magma caverns, just because we can. And let's just do this real quick. There we go. Same ones that we do everywhere else. Alright, enemy killed in battle, giant blade. Ooh, techs. We are nearly done with our military attacks. We got 3 more left. We got Veteran's Pride next, weapon damage for Great Weapon Infantry, nice, and charge bonus, and then charge reflection for Great Weapon units, which would also be nice. Frankly, Grimly's army in particular has wanted that for a while, but we had, admittedly, other priorities. And Dwinbar Ranulfson, you're headed over to this place. I assume you can't reach it walking. You cannot, so just head on over to it. Alright, King Azrael. You, I mean, I guess you have to go to Karaz-a-Karak. We can't just leave Red Eye here. And I take it right rear guard. Oh, wait. I mean, he can reach this, but it doesn't save us any time, does it? I mean, I guess you could still leech, but whatever. And Azrael's reached rank 50. We'll definitely level him up before fighting any proper fights or, you know, attacking the Silver Pinnacle. You go here. Red Eye is very close to being wiped out, and this is a lot of ruins. Oh, it's full of rats. Go figure. Alrighty, Ulthar Stonehammer, you could just stay there until... Why you cannot recruit these? Recruit something, I don't really care what. Vengeful. Oh, we could actually put you in another army. You can be... You know, I liked the idea of Thunderers here. You can be guns and fire. Lots of different ways we can mix fire and other stuff. Can you build Iron Drakes here? Oh, okay, now build one more regular Iron Drake. Since you have a Grudge Settler Iron Drake, it would bother me if you didn't. And I would... I mean, we could probably replace these... Wait, you know what? Grudge Throwers. We could probably replace you with a couple of Flame Cannons. How long would it take you to build Flame Cannons, out of curiosity? What can you build here? No gunnery units, unfortunately. And no Flame Cannons, funnily enough. Probably better to use Drake guns rather than the miners with blasting charges, unless you already have Axe Sword, which you do, but at the same time, we're going to reset you anyway. But it'll take more than one turn anyway, so we don't have to do it now, or I can do it between the episodes if I change my mind. Alrighty, anyway, Groth Barak, let's keep going. You, sir, are looking for Nurglights, which are very much occupying these hills. You need to go find them, so go as far as you can until you spot another Nurglite army. Good luck, sir. Morgus Death Dealer, you have captured an easy little free territory. I guess you can go down to Giant's Rocks. Interesting, interesting phrasing. Anyway, Morgus Death Dealer. Where are we here? Alright, that's you. Kazran Grimbrow, you are looking to capture Skasezi, and I think we can just straight up trade Pavona to these guys. Oh, but then we won't be able to get Duchezo from them, will we? I guess we're about to find out. Basically, I want to trade Duchezo back to whatever faction held it so that everybody has a nice, you know, contiguous territory, but as to whether it's possible remains to be seen. Occupy. So, I'm pretty sure I'm correct about this. If we trade Pavona to you, Pavona...
You have a proposal? We are willing to hear it.
Yeah, go for military alliance. I mean, we're going to be allied with all of these Southern Realmers anyway. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should have saved that to make it cheaper to get Duchezo from you. If you're even willing to... Oh, you are. 148? Yeah, I should have saved it. I am assuming Skasezi is not worth... Well, it's not worth anything yet. Okay, fine. Okay, well, whatever. We can get it. We can still get it. You can upgrade, don't collect the income, delete this, replace it with all military structures, and then we should still be able to do it. I really should have saved the military alliance, but whatever. At least these guys have their capital back now. Please don't lose it to rebellion. Please. After all that minor amounts of effort. Anyway, Mournguard Whitebeard, you are the... Oh, you're one of the Mournguard that is supposed to move, though with these guys basically destroyed, in fact... Assuming that these guys can't defend, you're not needed elsewhere. Resolve. And occupy. Alrighty, we are rapidly running out of time, folks. I think... Yeah, I think this is probably going to be a good place to call it here. There might be a little bit more in the way of admin that I'll do between the episodes. There are at least a couple more fights to do here, though. So we'll start with those next episode, I think. The... second circle, and then there was one other one where we were besieging the enemy. Not this one. This one we'll do when we end the turn. This one. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, I'm going to call it here. Next time we'll start the episode off by dealing with those. I know it was a little bit admin heavy towards the end of the episode, and I feel bad for that. And you know what, screw it, just fight this now because I feel bad. Go. Alright, and since I feel bad, I don't mind giving the enemy the old sporting chance. Rather than deploying everybody super far from the walls and knocking everything down with our artillery, we've deployed our range line, where we can fire upon the walls and they can fire back at us, both with their towers and with the range units on top there. How long they're going to be able to keep doing that, of course, remains to be seen, but they've got a chance at least. Anyway, we're gonna start the battle off, still knocking down all those towers. This is the longer wall with the bigger number of towers as compared to that one where I usually start this battle, so the enemy has even more of a chance in that regard. And it does look like at least the first 3 or 4 of the enemy towers have been obliterated now, and the walls are going to start getting a few holes in them soon as well. First one down, and the orcs standing atop them will fall. And, well, the cannons are pretty darn good at breaking down those walls. So that, well, I guess, well, flame cannons are also good at breaking down walls, but flame cannons are good at everything. Anyway, let's see, the damage 1.1k missile strength, pretty darn solid. And another wall will come down as we got 2 towers remaining, and it'll be soon none. Alright, there we go, more orcs fall through. Beautiful. And it looks like the orcs are milling around in a panic in there as well. We're going to start making our way forward with our regular guns in a sec. I'm just going to speed this up while we make a few more breaches and get ready to move on in. I don't really need to be careful about the ammunition on the Thunderers, because Thunderers have a very good amount of ammunition compared to other range units, apparently. Alright, there we go. Unfortunately, the direct fire artillery means that they, even with all of these breaches, they're really not going to be able to fire on enemies inside the walls, and we're just going to have to breach and clear with all of our units of Thunderers, which is just the way I'd have it. Should keep it nice and fun. And there we go. First, we're going to start by moving our Grudge Rakers to the front-ish, to where they can hopefully start firing through the gaps in the walls. There we go. They do have a little bit of a trouble doing that. Maybe we'll move them a little bit closer in a little bit. But as long as the enemies are milling around right in front of them, we can at least start like so. And just get everybody into position to get... whoa, what the heck, artillery? Don't fire through your own units. Yeah, just get everybody into position. Ooh, that enemy lord, you wandered way too close to the breach in the wall, my friend. And I do believe you're done. Or at the very least, you're shattered. Did you guys really stop firing when he's at 136 HP? It's like that rat warlord all over again. Not that it matters over much, mind you. Looks like some of the trolls attempt to move towards us. The Thane is going to stand there to block them off. But the trolls perhaps were just a distraction. While they were standing there and the Thane was busy menacing them, they will the Savage Orc Biggins will charge on through and close the distance with the Grudge Rakers. Unfortunately, what they haven't realized is that Grudge Rakers work in melee as well. And a shotgun blast to the face works fairly well at clearing all that war paint. And we've also got the Rune of Immolation on our Guildmaster, who clears out the enemies as we send the Thane on in. Now, time to start moving into the enemy settlement. The first of our regular Thunderers have arrived. We're going to send 2 of them up the walls and see if they can't fire down on the enemy below, while more Thunderers and some Grudge Rakers get ready to move in support as well. Alrighty, ooh, does look like at least a couple of the Dwarf Thunderers do get overrun down below the walls, but that was fully expected. And instead of heading up the wall, it looks like they're going to charge another unit of Thunderers through the gate, which will fire down this nice little firing line that the gate has turned into. Lovely. And we do got more Grudge Rakers supporting and ready to move on in. Trying to move everybody a little bit closer now. Gonna drop a flash bomb, and very nice volley from those Grudge Rakers. I'm just gonna have to keep slowly but surely closing the distance for once the Guildmaster is going to have to sort of work in melee to open up the breach, though that'll be pretty quick. With the Grudge Rakers now close enough to start firing on the enemy. There we go, those poor orcs. Out here, we have our first unit of Thunderers on the ground, firing away at the enemy. These guys look very slow. Shield breaker and nothing else. I'm not entirely sure why they're slow. Maybe it's just bullets to the face. And you know, that would slow one down, if you think about it. Anyway, let's see. We've got these guys down to about 20% of their HP, and more of our units heading deeper into, well, not so much deeper into the enemy settlement, but heading through the breaches in the walls and adding more support fire. The Grimdelvers have arrived, together with another unit of Grudge Rakers. Alrighty, and we just keep on moving forward. Soon these guys will start taking shots to the back. There we go, as we reposition the Grimdelvers. Lovely. And now we've also got a lot of stopping power, so the enemies are going to maybe not be slowed, but they will be staggered from all those Grudge Raker blasts as we've seen in previous battles. And it does work out quite well. Alright, more Grudge Rakers getting a little bit closer, closing the distance. Looks like our Guildmaster is free from melee duty at last and is now able to fire in range. Oh, he is taking a few hits from his own Grudge Raker units, admittedly. More of the Boar Boys and Orc Boys are coming down that ramp, but now we have plenty of support units of regular and Grudge Raker Thunderers. And they should be able to clear them out reasonably quick. And on top of that, we have our artillery moving into the enemy settlement. Now, they're direct fire, and that's probably the only way they're going to be able to contribute here. Starting to take position and form up. Create our own little reverse siege. There we go. The organ guns have started to fire in support of the rest of our units. Oh, those poor work boys milling around. It's really interesting that the units that cause staggering, that the way that they cause that sort of crowd crush thing that they've got going on. Alright, Guildmaster charges forward for reasons. Better than getting hit in the back constantly by his own Grudge Rakers, I guess. Imagine a very angry dwarf with a minigun chasing you down just to try to hit you in melee. I love everything about it. And he moves very slowly too, but it's pretty menacing, and get a big old bonk to the head with a Gatling gun. You're not going to be a happy camper anyway. Looks like we've certainly made our way into the enemy settlement now. In fact, bounce power is at about 90% in our favor. I do see a unit of Boar Boys and a unit of Error Boys over on our left flank here at still reasonably good HP. But now that we're in the enemy settlement, we've got both artillery and double thunderer support, and the enemy's going to have a real difficult time reaching us, especially since, well, essentially the settlement turns into a big old choke point. Now, we slow them down with a flash bomb, and that combined with the suppression from the Lord, from the Guildmaster, means these guys are down to a mere 7 speed, and that on top of the staggering shots of the Grudge Rakers means I don't think they're ever going to reach our line here. And we can even reposition ourselves so that we can move in a few Thunderers to fire and to help add their fire to the Grudge Rakers. I just love listening to them fire. There we go. Looks like the Boar Boys are out. Nobody's making their way down the hill anymore at this time. Just got to clear out this unit of Savage Orc Boar Boys, and then I guess we can start making our way up the hill. Alright, a few more shots, and this poor unit of Orc Error Boys will be cleared out. They may be anti-large, but they're still pretty darn solid in terms of damaging regular units as well, even without that bonus to rely on. And look at that. Another unit of Boar Boys attempts to make their way down the hill. We got this nice little sort of half-moon formation going on. Or half hexagon formation, maybe in this particular case, but yeah, I don't think the the orcs are too caught up on the differences there. And there we go. Looks like between the Thunderers and the artillery firing on everything that attempts to make their way down the ramp, those guys are done for. The bounce power's at about 90, maybe even 95% in our favor. And I'm willing to bet if we can bait a few more units into coming down that ramp, the battle will be completely ours. Let's see. Looks like the cannons are firing on some Forest Goblin Spider. Oh, there's only like 5 of them. What were you guys going to achieve here? This was a bad idea. Oh, there's a few more. They are running out ahead of the Boar Boys there, but it looks like they'll shatter. The Boar Boys are still around. Will they attempt to make their way down? Well, they'll take a few cannon shots, and this is probably the last unit that has a hope of reaching us, because most of the remaining units are melee infantry. And there we go. Oh, that is brutal. Alright, charge of the Boar Brigade, and didn't last long at all. There we go. With that, it looks like the enemy realizes that they have no hope. Their last remaining Savage Orc and melee infantry units will break, and one unit of Spider Riders, the smart ones, will skitter on out of there and be gone back to their forests. A lovely little fight. All right, there we go. Lots of direct fire goodness, and considering this army had been, at least one previous battle, struggled in a siege a little bit, I think that went pretty darn well by comparison. Direct fire or not. Batter down the walls, then start shooting through the walls until you can establish a beachhead and just keep sort of fire while moving and supporting your units inside the settlement. Well, it worked out pretty well. Anyway, we will occupy the place. And there we go. Now we're out of time, and I'm gonna call the episode here as the bloody hands have been destroyed. Oh, that's a pretty good place to end the episode. So yeah, calling the episode here. Next time we will destroy Clan Tree Trick in the same way that we destroyed the bloody hands, and then start proceeding down to Batman Town and wiping out Everus. We've still got a lot of work to do here with Kugath, and we haven't even encountered Kugath himself, which perhaps unsurprising since he has 23 settlements, which is a lot. But we'll find him eventually. Otherwise, well, probably not going to describe everything because, I mean, there's fights on pretty much every single border we have, and man, do we have a lot of borders all over the map. Stay tuned for, oh, this fight as well. Wait, was this fight killing a unit? Oh, I just straight up forgot about this. Okay, I'm glad I went back to you now. We should auto-resolve it, quick save and then auto-resolve it. Like, that's going to hurt these guys. Oh well. Unsurprising. Anyway, like I said, out of time. Next episode we'll start with at least one battle immediately, Grimly versus more Slaanesh, and then continue looking for more. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, as they'll determine how long this campaign continues to run for. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.